Andy, why is it that the price of South Sea pearls, which look similar, can be 10 times different?
The price of white South Sea cultured pearl can vary per strand by thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars per strand. And what might seem like somewhat similar looking strands, actually, if you understand how to look at the quality nuance difference between white South Sea cultured pearl strands, let's start first with size. White South Sea cultured pearls can come from Australia, but they can come from other locations also. The Australians tend to begin at about 11 millimeter in size. Other locations may go down to about 8 millimeter in size. So the size range from 8 to 11 millimeter is a much lower price point than the size range, let's say, from 11 to 13 millimeter. Like you jump again from 13 to 15 millimeter, and once you get over 15 millimeters, it goes up tremendously in price, with some pearls reaching 20 millimeters in size. This makes a tremendous difference in the price of those strands. Now let's assume it's the same size, our strand of pearl. What makes these differences in price? With South Sea cultured pearls, so if you get a very round shape on a strand of pearls, this can increase the price a great deal on South Sea cultured pearls. Perfectly rounds tend to be the most, and when they get lightly off round, they drop in price considerably. Other different shapes are usually lower than a rounds, except a beautiful drop shape. If you get a beautiful drop shape South Sea cultured pearl, if it's symmetrical on each side in the shape, if it has a very pleasing length-width ratio, not too short or stumpy, not too long and thin, just right, these can sell for more money than even perfect round pearls. So the shape comes into play, but Baroque shape that has sold traditionally at the least cost are becoming more in demand, and the price for Baroque shapes are going up. Shape, another consideration. Color. South Sea cultured pearl. They're generally white, they can be silverish, they can be cream colored. White, or kind of what they call a silvery white, those are the finest body color that you can have. You have a very consistent white or silvery white color that is highly desirable. That will be more than, say, a little bit of a yellowish tint, making a little bit of a cream color. But the beautiful thing with pearls is it's not just a body color. You can have what's called overtone color. That is kind of a color superimposed on that white body color. Now, with the overtone color, it's commonly green or pink with white South Sea cultured pearls, or you can have the two together or more color, and that's orient. So overtone color, when desirable, and orient, that can increase the value of the pearls instead of just a plain white body color. But in my opinion, what makes a pearl is the nacre. The luster is more determined by the quality of the nacre, how tight that nacre structure is. That usually determines the quality of the luster. Nacre thickness, if it's too thin, if it's like around 0.10 or 0.15, could possibly affect the luster. The Australians usually have over a millimeter, sometimes 2 to 3 millimeter nacre thickness. So don't get caught up on nacre thickness if it's in a good range for the pearl type you're looking at. And South Sea cultured pearls are known to have good nacre thickness compared to all the different pearl types. Pearl luster is different than any other gem material. It is unique. Luster is the quality factor that the professional, that the connoisseurs use when they're judging difference in quality. Now, different pearl types can have different luster, but when a laboratory grades South Sea cultured pearls, they do it against South Sea cultured pearl luster master strands. So you grade type compared to type, and a higher luster, that can bring a much higher price. And how do you notice that luster? You'll see it about 12 to 18 inches under that light. I look at the quality of the reflection of that fluorescent light tube. The higher the quality of the luster, the sharper that reflection of the light tube looks. You can look at the pearl and see your own reflection in it. How sharp is that reflection? That's a very quick way to see luster quality. Now, the surface condition of a pearl. What some people call blemishes or surface characteristics. Look at how visible any of those surface characteristics, cracks or bumps, look at how visible they are. If they're not visible at the distance you would normally be talking to someone and admiring their strand of pearl, if they're not that visible at what a laboratory would look at them under grading conditions, I wouldn't put so much importance on the surface characteristics. I would go much more with the luster. That is really what's important. These differences sometimes may seem subtle, but they can make tremendous difference in price. So at first glance, you may say, my goodness, why such a difference in price between these two strands? But once you understand the nuances, the size range price increases, and the quality price increases, you'll understand why they have these price increases on these different strands of South Sea cultured pearl. And remember, price point is one thing, value is another. You might have a higher quality, larger size South Sea cultured pearl at a tremendously higher price than another South Sea cultured pearl of lower quality and smaller size, but it may be a better value. The price versus the demand and rarity and the value of that material.
Andy, why is it that